Yep. All right.
Super.
Welcome to
Good,
Broken
good.
and Unreadable.
Good. Awesome. Good. Love that.
Yep.
Fantastic.
That is on me. We had a great conversation. You guys were not privy to, but basically it boiled down to Barnes wants to get probed by an alien. So,
no, sounds about right. Episode done.
yep. Episode done. All right. Thanks,
All right.
guys. Yep. So
roll the end credits.
any extraterrestrial life out there that is looking for somebody to probe, Barnes, right there. He is your man. I'm sure with your technology you could find him. Go probe him. He'll tell us the story later.
Yeah, I'm not that interesting. No one's gonna want to probe me. It's all good.
I don't know. I mean, some of the people who say they've been abducted by aliens, they're not on the.
Well, saying and it actually being real are two totally different things.
Well,
You might
true.
have just they might have just been hanging out with the meth hippos, and that could have been a
No.
interesting trip they had.
Crack hippos and
Crack hippo-
meth gators.
Meth gators, yeah, whatever.
Know the fucking lore.
Come on,
my
man.
apologies.
All right, so I guess
This would
let's
be
go
a Barnes
around.
heavy one, right?
Well, and let's ask here.
Oh, it ain't gonna
Barnes.
be that heavy.
Barnes, do you believe in extraterrestrial life? Aliens flying
No.
around in spaceships?
Nope, I do not. And so part of that is religious. Despite my demeanor and how I act and speak, I do have a very religious upbringing. And so because of everything that I've been taught, it kind of refers to there not being any life outside of this planet. And you laugh, but that's just
No, I'm
how it
laughing
is.
I'm laughing
We're
at chat.
talking.
I'm laughing at
Oh.
chat, not at you.
Well, yeah. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, yeah. So that's how I feel, and I see there's TikToks and YouTube videos and Instagram. And, we've got all this media out there where people are posting things of stuff that's out there, and like people catching things moving in the sky and whatever. And it's just like I have a hard time believing it, especially with just how easy it is.
Oh, we'll get
in
back
today's-
to some of those videos.
Yeah, so I just have problems believing a lot of the stuff that people talk about and post and being like, "Oh, look, it's a UFO," which I mean by definition, sure, but is it actually alien? Is a whole nother thing. So I don't
Okay, so
really believe in extra life out there.
Barnes is not a believer. Jehovah, are you a believer?
Nope.
I'll tell you what. I don't know. Like most things in this world, I don't know and I don't understand.
I'm not asking
it's
I'm not asking if you know if it's true or not. I'm asking if you believe.
I mean, there's got to be something out there, right? I imagine it's an enormous convenience that we're the only ones who happen to be so close to a star with just the right amount. Like, I get it. I get that that's going to be an extreme rarity, but is it the only one? Jesus, we can't even see a portion of even observable space right now. Each one of the stars in the night sky has planets or planetoids around it. Like it's just infinite.
Oh, yeah.
There's got to
Yep.
be something.
And
Now, are they going to be little green people who could come to us? I fucking hope not. We'll talk about why later. But
and for myself, I am a believer. I've always been a believer in extraterrestrial life. Not so much in like Roswell or anything like that, right? But that there is something out there. I'm not convinced that they've visited us, because I don't know why the fuck you'd want to visit us.
Oh, that's fair.
But I believe
because I don't know how far Twitch goes, and they might not be able to pick up our show.
hopefully
They would have to
they
come.
they're gonna have to come here to probe Barnesy and listen to the show. So
Oh, I know we weren't. I not to cut you off, even though that's exactly what I'm doing right now. But I know we weren't doing a drink check because both of you guys have early morning stuff. But I'm a piece of shit degenerate. So I was.
What?
that doesn't count. That does not count as alcohol.
You're the only
Right,
one
that's
not
apple
doing
juice.
it.
Yeah, it's apple juice, but you know what? It's alcoholic apple juice. I need an ID to buy it.
There you go. And I was concerned that I wouldn't have anything because the pantry's a little empty right now.
W.
Support the dubs.
Oh, you got some Dubby. Okay.
Yeah, I got some Dubby.
some Dubby no jitters energy. Right
Hell
there?
yeah,
That's crazy.
Dubby and no jitters energy.
For I imagine most of the people who are watching the show actually know us personally, so they know as a shitty New England kid, I have Dr. McGillicuddy's that I'm going to be sipping on, and I know what you're going to say already. Like, oh, that's barely fucking anything. Stop being Well, I'm such a piece of shit New England kid. I got a second bottle right here. So on with the show.
On with the show.
know,
All right.
We're gonna have to have an episode of drunken escapades where we talk about some Dr. McGillicuddy's incidents. But
I think we are going to have a drunken escapades at some point.
that'll be interesting.
Year Zero, no Lulu. I have not read that. Yes, Lima, I was drinking Dubby. This is my second of the day. I'm trying to see in the future. So
He's also on the West Coast.
yes, it's also 6 o'clock for me. Lulu, I will add that to my list. I'm actually going to write that down. I read quite a bit, and I'm always looking for good books. So Year Zero.
I'm gonna learn how to do that one of these days.
No, you won't. It's beyond you.
Well, and unless Lima buys the book, I can't read it. So we're
That's true. That's a law.
yeah.
But
Lima has to buy the book for me to read it.
all right, so I want to concentrate on a couple things for this episode. At least talk about, until we get the chat chiming in on stuff. But I want to talk about abduction stories, right? Because we've all heard them. I want to talk about the gun cams that the U.S. Navy and the Air Force have picked up.
All right, yeah, that show was wild. I'll give you that.
And the declassification of a lot of documents that lean towards the existence of aliens. And I kind of want to talk about where they could be. And I think I want to start there. You brought up a good point. We're in the Goldilocks zone, right? We're in that perfect spot away from our sun where, it's not melting the planet or it's not too cold. So we're kind of right in that perfect area. However, we have found in our very limited ability to see into space multiple planets in Goldilocks zones around different suns.
Mm-hmm.
So that's multiple habitable planets that are out there. Are they habited? I have no idea. Are they, granted, Barnes, you being on the religious side may not even believe in evolution, and that is to each his own. But are they single cell organisms there?
You look at the cut bacon, and you tell me there is a caring and benevolent God. He would not have made him look like that.
That is very true.
And
Very
viewership
true.
dropped to 0.
But I mean, when you think about it, though, right? I mean, and I think one of the toughest concepts for anybody to really grasp is the fact that, by theory, because we can't prove it, and we'll never be able to prove it, that space is never ending. There's no limit. It doesn't just stop. So
Well, that's mid show adjustment right there. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. We'll get into in a minute. Is the different scales of planetary civilization, because ours. We were kind of talking before the show, right? I was going over some of the stuff. We are not very high on the scale.
no.
So, like, the amount of stuff that's possible and out there, us as humans, like, we put a robot on Mars. Great fucking job. That's like dropping the bucket compared to what this theoretical scale is.
Yeah, Lulu, the fact the universe is constantly expanding and is never going to end. Like there's no border of space. Galaxies always moving apart. It's expanding. It's getting bigger. And to me, I don't know the exact number. Googleizer, why don't you Googleize it for us?
Jesus.
The,
What's the number?
What percentage of space can we actually see
Yeah,
through one of our telescopes? I'm saying it's less than 1%.
0%.
So less than 1%.
So 92. Well, okay, hold on. They're being dickheads here. They're saying assuming the universe is infinite, then it's 0%. But shut up. I want a better number than that.
I mean,
That's like a snooty fucking Reddit answer,
Yeah.
Fucking technically, shut the fuck up.
Hold on, Lindy Rye. I want to hear this. Aliens live in the ocean. What aliens live in the ocean? Because that is actually part of the gun cams that I was going to talk about.
well, I mean, you got the Loch Ness monster and all these other sea shanties, the Kraken. I mean, those could. You never know. Given
5%.
5%.
5%. That's actually
of known space.
Yeah, of known
we've-
space.
Right.
That we've mapped and we like theorize is there, or we can see like the stars or whatever. We've like mapped 5% of it.
And going real quick, since you brought up one of my favorites of Nessie and the Kraken, is they have found giant squid that are big enough.
Colossal squid as well.
Yeah, the Colossus squid that could bring down ships and could have possibly attacked ships back in that era. Was it likely? Probably not. But they did find creatures large enough. And Nessie, I don't care what you say, Nessie exists, and Nessie's living in that lake. Okay,
It's an alien that came down.
Like
years
obviously, the famous Nessie picture from like the 40s or 50s was fake. That came out, but Nessie exists. So
I think the ocean's terrifying even without fucking aliens. We kind of went over that a little bit before too, but like just now we're gonna add aliens there. Come on.
Well, I mean,
right.
Lima brings up aliens moving in the water doesn't mean they live there. By all means, whatever propulsion they're using, they can go in and out of water without any deceleration issues. However, as has been said by Lindy Rye, we haven't gotten all the way down to the bottom, like the Marianas Trench.
Yeah.
There very well could be some colony down there of little green men studying.
Yeah, I'm still worried about like exploring what is here on Earth within touch of everything, let alone, exploring the expanses of space, which is far beyond our reach. We still haven't even touched the bottoms of half the oceans.
I personally think it's more important to reach into space to establish a colony on another planet because we're going to destroy this planet eventually.
Oh, our days are numbered. That's a scientific.
We'll
fact.
destroy all the planets.
That's fine.
We'll galactic. Sorry, go ahead.
We'll just planet hop and destroy every planet we go across in 1.5 million years, whatever.
I actually think that's true. Not only do I think that's true, I think that's the purpose of humanity.
That's kind of how video games explain it too.
There was kind of I think it was a comedian, maybe it was somebody, I don't remember. He was talking about, he said, like, you ever looked at a piece of bread that has mold on it? Like, the mold doesn't know that it's destroying the bread, but that's its only purpose.
Yeah.
And if you've ever flown over a city at night and looked down, we're the mold on the bread.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
If you have two pieces of bread next to each other, the next piece of bread's getting the mold.
Yeah, and
it just is what it is.
And I will tell you this, even though I am broken as shit, if the military puts out advertisement for security, law enforcement on the moon or Mars, I'm going on that fucking mission. Bye, guys.
Oh, space shuttle door gunner all day. Space Force recruiters, hit up your boy.
But okay, let's get down to the basics then. There's 2 or 3 types of ships that are quote unquote known, right? There's a cigar-shaped ship that everyone sees. It's like a cigar with lights on it in the sky. Mm-hmm. And then there's obviously the flying saucer. And there's also the little less known but still talked about is the triangle ship that would come down. And that was spotted. One of the big incidents of that was, I believe, in 44? No, a little bit after World War II. But it was in England when there was a huge deal outside of a base there.
That was probably Hitler taking off or something.
Hitler.
Well, he had to go to
make
his way to the dark side of the moon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You brought up Hitler and Dark Side of the Moon. I have to bring up one of my favorite movies. It is like
Iron Skies?
Yes.
I've never seen it.
Nazis on the Dark Side of the Moon. It's terrible.
It's the worst.
They bleach a black guy's skin. They don't tell him. He goes to New York.
It's white face.
It's terrible.
Check it out when you get a chance.
I highly recommend it. Everybody, a movie, Iron Sky, and Iron Sky 2, which is lizard people in the center of the moon. Or center of the earth. Mm-hmm. Highly recommend both
Nazi lizard people, as well as everyone else. I think wasn't like Bin Laden down there, and he was a lizard people too.
All the bad guys, and the U.S. president is a knockoff of Sarah Palin. It's fantastic. I highly recommend the movie.
Spoiler alert for the second one, also a lizard people.
Yep, I am gonna go watch that movie tonight now because that is a fantastic movie.
That's up there with Dead Snow for me, which is the Nazi zombies in Norway attacking a bunch of campers.
I actually think Iron Sky.
I think I've seen that one.
I think Iron Sky actually is from like Norway or Sweden or someplace. It was not a Hollywood production. I do know that. But okay, so we have the 3 different types of ships: cigar, saucer, triangle, and then 3 different types of aliens: the Greys.
Yep.
The Greens.
Greys, Nordics, Reptilians.
Yep. There we go. So, if you guys have ever seen Stargate, SG-1, there's a great example of the Greys on there. The Asgard.
Wait, this is making a lot of fucking sense. Did you join the Air Force because you believe in aliens and watched a lot of Stargate?
Maybe.
You were security forces, right? I'm pretty
Yep.
sure those guys were hanging outside the
Oh,
Stargate bunker.
Yeah, we
constantly,
were.
Right?
We are. We guard it. Stargate's real.
They also,
Hmm.
I was gonna say, they
Okay.
also guard Area 51, where the
Yep.
government keeps the aliens.
Yep.
Hmm.
Aliens are
Ben, of
real.
course, got the-
Stargate is
He's got
real.
the connections.
If you don't hear from me in the next couple days because the government killed me because I spilled the secret. Um,
He's onto us.
but yeah, guys. So I mean, those are the basics. Like every like Roswell was supposed to be the Greys, right? Jehovah, the Greys that crashed their saucer.
Yeah. So
Supposedly.
the Greys are actually they're weird because they're kind of like an organic. They're like sort of organic, sort of almost like robotic, but it's an advanced like bioengineering where they were a made thing. They were of first made to be subservient to the reptilians, according to whatever fucking guy in tinfoil was yelling it at me at the bus stop. But that's kind of thing is they like broke away and became their own thing. So they can be a little more benevolent or a little more malevolent, whereas the reptilians are almost exclusively evil, and the Nordics are generally good. So
And the Nordics are humanoid, correct?
yeah, they're taller. They're called Nordics because they look like people from Norway. They're tall, blue hair, blonde, or yeah, blue hair,
Blue-eyed, blonde hair.
blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Hitler's wet dream. They just look a little off. That was always the thing. Is they're a little taller, they're a little lankier. Like you just look at them and you go, something about that guy's not right. And the more you look at them, the more you realize that they're definitely a little bit not.
So the Asgardians basically are the Nordic aliens that.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, kind of. A lot of that theory, because I mean, even the Norse religion, that's kind of where they back that up too, because a lot of the Norse religion says that, like, hey, the gods are straight up from a different planet. So,
Yeah,
well,
and
Alpha Lima says he's tall and lanky and a little bit off, but you're just fucking ugly. These people are like stunningly beautiful. That's important.
you know the big thing to to keep in mind is a lot of this is just theories. We don't have quote
until a
unquote
planet is invaded.
we don't
we're never
have
gonna know.
we don't have bodies supposedly. I can't say if we do or not.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, we don't have bodies.
And I'm not citing any of my sources because this isn't an educational show. Fuck you. We're here for entertainment.
Yeah.
Go look it up yourself, you lazy piece of shit.
But if you guys do want to look something up, look up the some of the gun cam footage from these Navy jets, where they're and listen to the comms between the pilots and some of the radar stuff that has been seen out in the oceans too. I mean, they have craft going unbelievably fast. They hit the water, then jump right back out. Things that are just not humanly possible with the technology that we have. And if you're gonna find a better source, to me, it's gonna be a fucking Navy gun cam that's released by the government.
Kind of hard to doctor, you know? And it was fun because they released that during the part of the pandemic where
Yeah.
they were like, aliens are real. And we're like, I don't care. Stay 6 feet away from me. Like,
Yeah.
nobody fucking cared. That they just
I
straight
remember
up were
that.
Like,
that all
The,
happened.
Yeah, it was
the government
wild.
the government timed the release of those documents perfectly. They made up
Which is
COVID. They made up COVID, and then to cover
Yeah.
it, and then they tossed
Yeah.
in their all these things. And yeah, Lulu, there's a bunch of transmissions that have been picked up by SETI that they can't. They just don't know how to interpret or where it came from.
Some of them, they have no idea what the fuck they are at all. And those are 100% extraterrestrial communications. Some of them they have found were like bouncing weird and were like old Soviet listening posts, like the numbers relay. But I think there was one, it's called, literally, it's just called the WOW transmission because it was so off the charts that the dude like penciled in WOW next to it.
Yeah.
He was listening into stellar radiation. And I'm going to Google this to make sure, but like it was just off the charts. Like he's like, there's 0% chance this is an organic noise.
Yeah,
Like
and,
it was a radio transmission.
and
coming back.
this is where this is one of the reasons why I'm a believer that there are civilizations out there. One, because the universe is so vast, that fucking
The
who
WOW
knows,
signal. Excuse me.
right? And who knows like where they're at. But the other thing is, there's so many unexplained things that we've come across: radio transmissions, those gun cams. Some of the abductions and some of these other random things that have been found. Like, there's got to be something out there.
Okay, so the white space noise, everything they had been tracking before then, came up to about 2 on a scale of 1 to 30. And then for 72 seconds, it went up in pitch, just like a radio wave, all the way up to like 35. And then back down to like maximum of 2.
Yeah.
Like astronomically higher than anything else they'd ever heard before. Like, that's why it's called the wow signal, is the guy heard it, straight up wrote on the piece of paper wow next to it because it was ridiculous.
Yeah, so I mean, some of the things are hard to explain away. The abductions, I think, a lot of them you can, explain away, saying they're crazy people looking for attention or whatever. But another thing
my
too.
My thing with abducted people is like, if you were abducted, why on earth would they fly all the way back to bring you back here? Like, if they're gonna do experiments and
no, they
leave? They don't have to leave.
They just fly up into the atmosphere and hide up there.
Or under the water.
Or under the water and probe you.
Under the water.
I am under the water.
You're gonna have to let us know when you get probed if you're in space or under the water.
You guys wouldn't believe me if I told you.
You have an honest face. I would believe you.
But we've all heard of the show Ancient Aliens, and a lot of those are crackpot theories. I mean, we'll put that out. Yeah, exactly. Aliens. A lot of those are crackpot theories, in my opinion. However, there are some things that are really interesting that they have brought up. A lot of the images from Indian lore, like from the subcontinent of India, with, I forget the actual name of what they call them, but basically like flying ships there's some fancy name for them.
Well, people who look and it's from Ancient Aliens, yes, but a lot of different cultures, ancient writings and hieroglyphics and pictures and stuff like that usually start with a man in some sort of helmet.
Yep.
On a flying device of some sort.
I mean,
that is real. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah,
that's crazy as all hell.
Yeah, and Ancient Aliens, the show, they'll tweak it to fit their their narrative.
Because that's 100% entertainment. We have some facts. I'm just not citing them for you.
But those are just like some of those things. And then the Ancient Aliens guy, aliens. The lapel pin he wears is actually, I think they're these little gold models that were found, I believe, in South America. And they actually put these things in wind tunnels, and they had flight characteristics.
Yeah.
They were.
And wasn't there a thing where there was like something about like ley lines? Like, I think it's was it Stonehenge and the Easter Island ones?
Yeah, so Stonehenge, Easter Island, American Stonehenge,
perfectly were within a degree from
same with the pyramids. There's a bunch of these monolithic buildings and structures that are actually lined up really well. So, I mean, who knows? And the last thing I'm going to bring up, well, 2 last things from that show, because we all know, like you said, it is entertainment, actually, it's going to be 3 things, because Lima just made it pop in my mind. One is the bird from Australia. There is a model of a bird that doesn't have, it doesn't look like a bird, because the back where the feathers would be flat is vertical, like a plane, like a glider, and there's actually indentations of where airlines would have been, and so it's a perfect representation of a plane made by the Egyptians. Then there is the structures in Peru that are so finely put together with no mortar, and they've stood for thousands of years, and they still can't figure out how they built those as an ancient race.
I heard a comedian talking about those. He was Spanish, okay? So he's like, everybody says aliens put together the pyramids in Egypt and stuff. He goes, nobody says that. They know the Mexicans built that shit. They know that they just immediately got to it.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at that, and Ancient Aliens theory obviously is like there's something that they used to levitate the stones and all that type of bullshit. But it's just that type of construction is very interesting. And like Lima said here, all around the world have stone carvings and drawings that are very similar. Now, I'm going to deviate that from a little bit, not so much the drawings, but the structures. Pyramids are a very unique feature, right? Like, it's a unique thing to build. However, there are pyramids all over the world from the same millennia. Right? You have the pyramids in South America, in North America, in Central America, obviously in Egypt. You also have some in China, all from around the same time, and and the subcontinent of India. It's really interesting to me that all these civilizations at the same time, like, we're going to build step pyramids. It just doesn't make sense to me. There had to be, and maybe it's not aliens. Maybe there was some intercommunication between these cultures that we just haven't discovered yet. But it is very interesting that the drawings and architecture between all these countries and civilizations were the same.
So I wanted to look up and make sure I was right about this, and I am because I'm a fucking genius. But
far from it.
A good reason to kind of go into exactly what you were saying, and kind of going back to the pictures and drawings of birds and stuff like that. People are like, oh, they were ignorant savages, they don't know, whatever. In World War II, there was a thing that still happens that's called a cargo cult. Have you ever heard of those?
No.
In the Pacific, these indigenous peoples, right? We would land on these islands that people had not really been to. You know, they were very backwards and native, and we would build landing strips for our planes, and then the planes would come and they would drop off supplies, drop off munitions. You know, the people would be there. These natives have never seen anything like that before. Just all of a sudden, someday, this big fucking bird comes down, lands on the ground. These godly people come out with, you know, the lightning sticks and all this crazy nonsense, and they leave you cargo. They leave you foodstuffs that doesn't go bad miraculously, like somehow, you know, and all this. So these cults started to clear sections of jungle like a runway and build wooden replicas of what they thought our planes looked like from above, because they thought the gods had abandoned them and wanted them to come back. So they figured that's how they would bring them down. So, like, it's very conceivable that if something crazy happened like this in any one of those ancient civilizations, they would put it in their works of art, put it in their literature, put it in their architecture to get those gods to come back in much the same way.
Now,
yes, ancient MREs. So
Spoops brought something up. Skinwalkers and aliens, I do not think they go hand in hand. Skinwalkers, Bigfoot, and all that kind of stuff, I have a feeling we will be covering very soon, maybe even next episode, about certain mythologies and stuff like that.
Is this becoming a fucking true crime podcast? Is that what we're doing? 'Cause that market's tapped, bro. We're not that good. Like,
it's not true crime. Lulu, I think it's possible. I think that the aliens visited in ancient civilizations or prehistory, and they did pass some stuff on. I think that this is very possible.
I think this is a good time to interject real quickly before we go on to Skinwalkers.
And take a giant pull from your shitty alcohol.
Oh, I filled my cup. I've been just straight drinking it now.
I want to see you take a pull of McGillicuddy's right out of the bottle. Now, before you do it though, chat, I want you to give us a count of how long he's going to pull for.
Nope, we're not doing that because almost everyone in this chat I know personally, and they're liars and bad people. I don't want them to be in charge of my help like that.
All right. Lulu said lucky 13.
This is why. No, fuck you. No.
That's
Dr. Choco Bro says 10.
I might be able to do a 10.
Lindy says 22.
So farm is a good switch to us.
All right, we'll go in between Dr. Choco and Spoops. Let's do a 6-second pull.
Oh fuck me! All right.
Ooh, he's done for. If we thought he was bad last week.
Oh god, yeah, we're not getting cult. Well, let's not count our chickens. What do I gotta do?
Lulu, just take a sip and enjoy the drink however you want.
Give me a countdown. Ready?
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go.
That's about that bottle down.
Proud of you, brother. All right. You were interjecting with something though. Do you want to finish that thought, or do you need a second?
It's just so cold. It's so cold. Oh god,
It's like
it feels
drinking
like
toothpaste.
feels like I got mouth fucked by peppermint patty. Yum.
Did you
Anyway,
there we go.
I don't know how to say this, and Lulu's a scientist, so she's going to yell at me for saying it wrong. But all the stuff that we're talking about, especially when it comes to different like technologies and stuff like that, that might have been alien in nature or not, we got to look at where we stand on something called the Kardashev scale. I don't speak invades Ukraine, so I'm just fucking guessing here, but. It was a scale. It is Russian. That was put out by a Soviet astronomer in 1964, and it's basically the method of measuring a civilization's level of technology on a galactic scale. Okay, so it technically goes up. There's an extended scale, but that kind of really gets into the Wi-Fi. Or I'm a fucking idiot. God damn it, McGillicuddy's gets into sci-fi. Because the original scale only goes to 3. There are points in between, like 1.1, 1.2, etc. It goes to 3, but 3 is theorized as to be impossible. Or sorry, a 4 is impossible, so he stopped it at 3. But we, on this scale, right now, being able to send people to Mars and stuff, hit a 1.2 at best.
Yeah, so
that's not bad. That's good. That's better than a lot of planets. But it's like that's why I said earlier, if they can visit us, we're fucked.
oh yeah,
Because
100%.
if they can get all the way here, we're like, fuck you aliens. We got nukes. Like Independence Day, they're gonna be like Lamau, just laser beam that shit because they will be so ridiculously advanced technologically.
Now hold on, Lulu. You say we haven't sent anyone to Mars. However, there is a group of people, granted crazy people, that did say that they were recruited by the U.S. government in, I believe, the 80s and early 90s. They were trained,
about. Yes,
the Space Marine, the Space Marines, and they actually went to Mars. Granted,
that's a real guy. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he is fantastic. So we might have sent somebody to Mars. Who knows? I don't think we have yet.
Meant the little robot. He counts, man. He was fucking cute. He sang himself "Happy Birthday," and then just died alone. How fucked is that, honestly?
I thought you were going to talk about Wally for a second.
But I mean, honestly, I do think that we're going to get within the next decade. I think we will be launching a mission to Mars. Our technology is getting to the point now. It's going to be the hardest part of that whole trip is getting out of the atmosphere, and that is what's holding us from space travel. Is the amount of energy.
There he is. I found him.
That it takes to get out of our atmosphere. Now,
a retired U.S. Marine has revealed that he allegedly served 17 years at a secret alien base on Mars in order to protect 5 human colonies from indigenous Martian life forms. The ex-naval infantryman, who uses the pseudonym Captain Kane,
Captain Kane.
Retired officer further adds that training took place on a secret moon base called Lunar Operations Command, Saturn's moon Titan, and in deep space. What a fucking hero, bro!
I know. Give him the Medal of Honor. But
they were part. He was
more
part
than that.
So we're more advanced than I thought because he was part of a multinational joint organization called the Earth Defense Force, which recruits military personnel from U.S., Russia, and China. So shouts out to our new pals, Russia and China.
Apparently so. I mean, I will say for a while there, the only way we could get into space was because Russia would launch our astronauts up to the space station. After we decided to blow up our space shuttle because we didn't test an O-ring from getting cold.
No, and then we defunded NASA. But
yeah, who cares?
This gentleman, by the way, also says his retirement ceremony was on the moon after 20 years of service, which he asserts was presided over by VIPs, including ex-Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld.
Yep, he is a true American hero.
I believe him.
I worked with a guy who used to tell stories like that.
We still work together, asshole.
Oh, no, I wasn't even referring to you. I was referring to somebody in my civilian life.
But, I mean, granted, we haven't cited sources or brought, true facts or evidence. But, I mean, Barnes, when you listen to some of the things that we've brought up, like, does that shift your viewpoint at all? I understand you have a religious upbringing and religious view of things, but I mean, how do you explain some of these unexplainable things?
Is God
honestly,
an alien?
no. God would be a spirit.
All right, just saying, if God was a physical being and he made us in his image, that sounds a lot like cloning technology, right? Or like we were talking about the Greys, they were manufactured, biological manufactured.
I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. Unexplainable things are without evidence, like hard, cold evidence in my hands. It just, I don't know. I feel like for it to be real, like I would have to physically see it happen.
Well, let me
touch it. Something.
Well, you have to have.
Let me-
you
let
have
me-
to have
let
faith in it
let me
being real,
counter you
much
with-
like you have faith in a
well, I-
religion.
let me counter you with this. Gravity is not proven. Gravity is still technically a theory. We don't know how it works. We can't prove any of it, right?
Well, and I don't believe in it, and that's why I can fly.
Exactly. But you
Yeah.
believe in gravity, right, Barnes?
I mean, down once.
like you believe.
Yeah,
it's a theory. It
I
hasn't
believe
been proven.
Okay, let's not devolve too much into that.
I was just-
That's a little
I was
much.
saying.
But I mean, that's the thing, right? These are all theories. They're not facts. They're not hard. We don't, maybe the government does have bodies from Roswell stuck in a freezer somewhere. I doubt it.
Maybe the government has proof of God. We don't fucking know. And I don't trust those motherfuckers because I worked for them for a long goddamn time.
Yep.
I know they're full of shit. I know they're full of fucking shit.
Yeah, amen to that.
But I mean,
Yes, anything by Kurt Vonnegut is excellent.
it's absolutely fantastic. Yes.
Those boots.
Now, here's my thing: is let's say, for the sake of this argument, aliens are real, right? Just bear with us, Barnes, for the sake of this argument. Aliens are real.
For the sake of argument, yes, the aliens are real.
Now,
I
here's
got probed last week and enjoyed it.
I don't know if that was an alien. But
I was wearing a mask.
okay, fair enough.
Halloween and stuff.
But if there was advanced civilizations out there, why would they come to our planet?
Oh, I don't think they would. And I mean, just walking outside my door and interacting with human life, other than us just being a giant fun experiment for them to just kind of see how we self-destruct in our own horrible ways sometimes, I don't think there's any reason here. I mean, if something's more advanced than us, like what do we have to offer other than pure entertainment? Like Futurama,
Resources, galactic
and
resources, baby.
yeah, and there's that too. I mean, divulging into the sci-fi movie realm of things, because that's kind of where all my quote unquote alien knowledge is. You've got Battle Los Angeles, where they came for our water. You've got Battleship, where I don't exactly remember
What a
resource
stupid fucking movie.
Yeah,
What
that was a stupid movie.
fucking movie.
But we made contact with using deep space satellites on Hawaii and shooting a message up, and then years later they show up and freaking we got to bring back old battleships to fight them off and shit.
I think
So,
the most important one we got to talk about is when India discovered whales on was it Mars or the Moon? Do you guys remember this? Did you hear about this?
No.
They Oh my fuck! Let me Google it.
Okay, so while you're googling this, so I think they would visit us, and this is why, because I think we're the perfect example of this. Is what do we do with lesser species on the planet? We study them. We send scientists out to Africa to watch the lions and the apes and everything, right?
Right, learn behaviors.
Exactly.
and
So
what they do
I
and
feel
stuff.
like if aliens were to visit us, they would be to study us as a lesser species.
Yeah, that would be it. Either that or, create us into a reality TV show like in Futurama with Omicron, Persei,
Yep.
and those guys.
Mhm,
And just
mhm.
watch
Those are my
us through their
favorite.
TVs. Yeah.
I think it was the comic strip. I think it was Foxtrot or it was Farside. It was one of the two, and they were talking about aliens, and they were like, if aliens came to this planet, they would think that dogs were the dominant race because we walk behind them and pick up their shit.
Yeah.
I mean, are they wrong though? I would
No,
do
they're definitely not wrong.
unspeakable things for my fucking idiot dog.
You little
I have
Templeton.
plans on how to murder folk if they do shit to my dog. Like, could be anything, but I got plans, is what I'm saying.
All right, tell us about these space whales.
The radar imaging satellite RSAT-2 was launched on October, or 13 years after it was launched. The Indians were confused because they discovered blue whales, and they were like, wow, space whales are a thing, only to find out that the satellite had crashed into the ocean.
We're whalers on the moon. That can carry a harpoon.
That was fantastic. I want to say this was a while ago. I want to say like 2006.
But honestly,
either way.
honestly, that sounds like India.
And it's kind of funny too, because they just sound. It's so typical India, right? They scam you as Norton and Yahoo and all these other companies, but man, fucking whales.
I think Lulu's
Yep.
right. We need to get space whales for the cult.
Yeah, so crack hippo.
Meth gators are good. Space whales.
Yeah, so
Spiced up space whales.
so space whales, meth gators, and
Yeah,
crack
space whales on
hippos.
spice. I like that.
space whales on spice.
Okay, this is coming together.
Okay, we have a
Not the
lot.
SS, it's the SSS.
We have a lot of drugs that we have to buy, guys. Yeah, I hope you're saving money for the cult so we can do this.
Buy, that's a weird way to say manufacturer. Anyway, before the fucking ATF gets here, let's keep talking about
Aliens.
yeah.
I mean, okay, so we've kind of talked
Speaking
about.
of aliens, shouts out to my boy Oyola. We all know you don't get a green card, stupid.
I mean, we've
I
talked.
call him Mexican constantly. He's Puerto Rican. He gets very bad. He
So-
likes to remind me that it's a state.
He was Indian
well, not a
one
state,
week.
you know what I mean?
So we've talked about the ships a little bit, not much. We've talked about the species, kind of if they visit us or anything. But let's get into some of these encounters. Not the crazy people I got abducted off the side of the road encounters, but some of the more well documented cases. Roswell obviously is one that's I think was a hoax. But there was another one not too long. I think it was right before Roswell or right after where they went to the spot and people were dying from radiation sickness because this spaceship would crash there. And then obviously the one that was in England outside of a U.S. military installation after World War II.
I like the 1969 Berkshire UFO incident.
Which one is that?
That happened near Shetfield, near the old covered bridge, which is out.
Oh, I do remember that one.
And I just love the idea of a whole bunch of Boston fucking idiots getting picked up by aliens just because of the interaction. And listen, I'm not talking shit. I'm from there, okay? Like, I don't know if you can tell by what little accent I have left. Most of the people in this chat are from that area. Like, Barnsley's lived there for a while, but like, besides maybe New Jersey, those might be the most ornery people you could fucking abduct. Could you imagine they're just fist fighting you, talking about how the Bruins are better than whatever intergalactic team you have? Like it's immaculate. I would love. It's literally the two dudes that did It's a Baby Wheel J, but just picked up by aliens. You know
Hey,
what I'm talking
Power
about?
Wisdom Courage just called you out for shit talking New Jersey.
Who the fuck is that?
I have no idea.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
who
It's
are-
another.
Who are
Another
you? Probably
follower.
some New Jersey fucker. Who cares?
But I mean, so I have heard of the
Thank you
covered
for
bridge.
watching.
I have heard of the covered bridge incident. There's also actually there were many paintings of it and documents of it. Granted, it was in medieval time, but there was an incident. It was over England and France where the sky was full of flying saucers, supposedly.
Alpha Lima, relax. Relax, Chief. We don't need that kind of smoke in our chat, bro.
But I mean, let's hear from the chat. I mean, do you guys believe in aliens? Do you think they're real? Do you think they visited us? Do you believe in Roswell? Do you believe the gun cam footage? What are your thoughts? I mean, you guys have been listening to us talk for almost 50 minutes about this now.
What about Tunguska?
Tangusa?
Tunguska.
Don't hurt. Don't hurt.
Again,
yourself.
still don't speak invades Ukraine, but it's another Russian one. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh, was that the
In Siberia?
wait, was that the crater or is that the people that died hiking.
That's the forest.
The
Forest that was blown out as if
Mm-hmm.
a hydrogen bomb went off, but it was like years before it went
Yeah.
off on. Let's see if I can get a date because that shit's wild, bro.
Yeah.
They said it was like 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
And when was it? Did it happen?
It happened at 7:14 plus or minus 1 minute on June 30th, 1908.
Yep. I mean,
So well before
You know what
the
the
bomb.
fuck else happened in 1908?
nothing.
Me neither. I'm googling it, but I'm gonna just try and put shit in fucking perspective.
All right,
for
so
you, okay?
we have Lindy saying that Lindy believes in aliens. What about Lulu, Spoops, Wisdom? Lima believes.
The Nimrod expedition by Ernest Shackleton went forth to find Antarctica.
Oh yeah, yeah. What about
We talking
Smoke?
about this. We talk about hear ye, motherfuckers. There's
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's
Hiroshima
last
going
name is Shackleton. That name died off back in 1908.
That name died off with him. He didn't live, bro. That shit didn't
Yeah.
go well.
So Lima and Lindy are believers. Wisdom, I take it you're not a believer. Lulu wouldn't discount it. So we got some believers in the chat. That's what I like to hear. But yeah, so
Howard Taft was the fucking president when this happened. You know what number President Howard Taft was? Me neither. Nobody fucking cares. It was 1906, 1908, whatever it is.
all right, so we have about 10 minutes left, guys. You need last thoughts on this before we go to the chat to figure out what we're
What
talking
to
about
talk
next
for
week.
Well, I'm still. I mean, you guys brought up some interesting stuff, and like in all honesty, I didn't realize that there was this much stuff. Like I knew, tinfoil hat guys. That's just
Yeah,
kind of
me.
what I think about a lot of it. Yeah. Well, you're tinfoil
I'm,
for
su-
a different reason.
I'm surprised you don't have your tinfoil hat on right now.
Yeah.
The whole roof of my house is tinfoil.
That's true.
NSA.
Solar panels. But yeah, no, I like you guys just brought up a lot of stuff, which is kind of interesting, and it's nice. It's kind of cool knowing that there's a lot of stuff out there. Again, I still don't believe it. I think I would need alien coming in and getting physical,
Like
with
Mars
me.
Attacks.
Yeah, like exactly like Mars Attacks. That movie.
Yeah, but you understand at that point we are fucked.
Yes.
Right?
Hey,
Like
yeah, but you know
capital
what?
F fucked.
You know what? With all of these alien movies that are out there, like, just get it over with. Just switch it on, fucking 100%.
Hey, you got me there.
Just go, just do it. Like, put Earth out of its misery. They might do a better job at saving it, or take the resources and go feed their families or whatever. May the best man or alien win.
Yeah, Spoops has brought up Bob Lazar. Same with Lima a few times.
Fascinating,
If
dude.
you haven't seen his stuff,
Insane
it
fascinating.
is actually fascinating. So
I would say that it's a solid 50-50 nonsense and making you go,
yeah,
and that's the most problematic because if you could 100% discount everything, you're like, yeah, he's a madman, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But if you kind of like low key vibing with him, you know what I mean?
oh
You're
yeah,
like,
you're like,
got some
oh
points.
shit, that may like he goes from like, oh dude, you're a tinfoil crackhead to oh shit, that actually kind of makes sense. Fuck.
Yeah, it's always the crazy ones that just they make sense in their own twisted ways. And it
solid
almost worked
maybe.
out.
So
you're right.
all right, thinking. So I'm obviously a firm believer, and that's never going to change.
Oh,
Well-
so what are your final thoughts? We got Bacon's. We don't have yours. We have mine.
My final thoughts are they exist. They're out there. I think they visited.
that's
I
crazy.
I think they visited us and probably in prehistory and said, okay, we'll help these guys out. And then when they saw how we progressed into just deciding to murder everybody all the time, I think they're like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yep.
I think we need to get the Predator back on Earth and just have him start sacrificing to the aliens until.
Makes sense to me.
And
Yeah, it's all gone.
Lulu's comment. Single cell organisms, I believe, are alien. They should be considered alien because that is life on other planets. Intelligent life forms, not so much, but they are life on other planets and therefore an alien.
For the purpose of argument, we're talking about intelligent life forms on other planets. Do I think there are organisms in space? Sure, we've actually put some there. Like, what are they called? Water bears that can exist in vacuum. no problem.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they've proven
I've
that
seen
to be
those
a thing.
things. Yeah.
Mushrooms and fungi are aliens. Yeah, like a good portion of organic things on Earth are technically alien. A lot of rare Earth metals come from asteroid collisions, come from the time when we had a second moon that crashed into the fucking planet and melded with us.
Smoke, I think you mean tardigrade. The tardigrade.
I actually am made mostly of retardigrade, so that's
Yes, that is facts. Now, so what do you agree with me on final thoughts there? Like that they're out there?
I'll tell you this, man. Final thoughts is if we got help from the aliens before, which may or may not have been a thing, if they, let's say that they were, for the sake of argument, part of evolution, right? Like there are schools of thought that say alien DNA could have jump-started humanity from a point of semi-sentient tape and whatever. Regardless of what is or is not true, that indicates there's a possibility that our DNAs are compatible, and I'm trying to clap alien cheeks. There it is. I said it.
Reptilian though, reptilian, right?
Oh, hell yeah. They got like a blob alien? You know I'm just going crazy on that thing, bro.
If you don't get
100%.
absorbed.
Oh, I'm
All right, so we have 6 minutes left. Now, I have a couple ideas for next episode. I'll toss them out there for everybody. I'm thinking paranormal. I'm thinking Bigfoot, Nessie, like that type of mythology, like, you know, the cryptozoological stuff. Or does the chat have something they want to hear next week?
By the way, big shouts out to the new people in chat. There's a few new faces we're seeing in here, and I truly, truly appreciate it. We're not making any money off of this. We're probably not going to be nice if we did. But, you know, it's cool that you came out and hung out with us because we're just three fucking losers talking to you on the internet.
Yeah, basically, we love the fact you guys are out there. If you guys haven't, hit the follow button so you guys will be informed when we do it next. It should be 9 p.m. EST next Saturday since the Hell Let Loose tournament is over.
And that was my fault, all right? I went to go see Tom Segura, and it was fucking hilarious. You can't fault
it
me
is
for
your
that.
fault.
It was a great show.
All right, so we have simulation theory from Smoke. We have the flat Earth theory. Lulu.
Oh, I'll double down on both of those. We are a flat simulation, you fucking idiots.
There we
How do you
go.
like that?
Lulu is so down for paranormal ghosts. I think that's a good one to follow up aliens, but that is my opinion.
It might have to be Ghost, man, because, like...
We might have to do a 2-part episode on ghosts if we're going to really get into that.
My mom's whole side of the family is fucking Portuguese, and Adam Lima's Portuguese, too. He could tell you every Portuguese household is haunted by a family member, which is weird, because that means my dead grandmother see me jerk off a lot.
Lima's talking a nostalgia stream about 90s tech.
Oh, fuck. I could go off on some 90s tech, my dude. You want to talk about my CD player I had at school with the Smash Mouth album?
Oh, yeah,
Astro
Smash
Lounge?
Mouth. Hell yeah. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's narrow it down to ghosts, flat Earth, nostalgia. Put your votes in chat.
Put your votes on the comments of this in YouTube, so that way we can count them afterwards.
Yeah, it takes like a day to get that uploaded.
I know, but
All right, so we have. Oh, it's coming in.
It's fucking ghosts.
It's ghosts. We are doing ghosts. So next week we're coming in with ghosts and paranormal. Another thing that Barnes probably does not believe in because of his religion.
Religion would say that ghosts are real. The Holy Spirit's a fucking ghost.
Yeah, so religion actually kind of does refer a lot to the spiritual realm, which is of a ghostly nature.
Oh,
so
Jesus
yes, but I mean,
it's terrible OP. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
that is a terrible
Yeah.
OP. But I
Thank
mean, yes, the spiritual realm and heaven and
Save it for
stuff
next
like
week.
that.
We need
No, hold on.
material.
But something to think about over the next week is, well, yes, there's a spiritual realm, but do they believe in the paranormal, ghosts haunting you and all that kind of thing? Just thoughts, because I'm sure that question will come up again next week.
and it will.
Will I be able to interject with how I've always wanted the Army to have a necromancer corps?
Yes.
That's like part of the chaplain's corps, because that would be fucking hilarious.
Jesus lagged out in real life and DC then rebooted.
Lamau.
All right, yeah, we are coming to end here, guys. Thanks for thanks for tuning in. I mean, this is our 3rd episode. We're still getting our feet underneath us here. But
As you can tell by us having it muted for the first fucking 5 minutes.
yeah,
It's
that's
gonna be
on
footage.
me. That's
Can you
fantastic.
cut that from the YouTube edits
No,
so we don't
no,
look as stupid?
no.
All right, cool.
That's
Cool.
no, that falls on me though. That was all this guy. I'm the one that runs the OBS. I forgot to unmute us. Blame me.
Yep. It is what it is. Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
No, do not subscribe to his OnlyFans. That is a trap. It is a trap. Do not do it. But no, really, guys, thanks for coming out. If you are a new viewer, thank you. We had a couple today, which is fantastic.
Spread the good word of the Broken and Unreadable.
Yeah, spread it out. Get your friends in here, so it's not just these guys as army buddies.
Much like a lot of the photos on my OnlyFans, spread that shit. What?
Stay away from OnlyFans.
If you are new though, please hit that follow button so you guys will get notified when we go live next week. We do have the Broken and Unreadable YouTube where these videos are posted up. So if you came late, you want to hear how we started, you want to show videos to your buddies.
Well, you're not going to hear how we started. You're going to look at the
Yeah, you're
first
gonna look at
10
how we
minutes, and
started.
then you'll hear how we started.
Go ahead and give them that link as well. Also, jump in there, clip the episode, guys. Put those clips up on the Twitch. See,
If we said anything overly ridiculous,
clip that shit.
go ahead and clip that shit, man. I'm trying to get we getting paid out here, family.
Yeah.
We're not getting paid. Maybe one day down the road.
One day, but only through your support.
Yes, only
I'm getting
through.
demonetized well before then, but it's fine.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah,
you
we're never gonna get
alone.
monetized.
You alone are gonna demonetize us.
Yep. They're gonna look at our past episodes and be like, "Yeah, we'll give you guys, the association, but no money."
I didn't say anything egregious yet. All right, guys.
All right, that is it. We are gonna sign
I'm
off
done.
here.
Yeah, roll it.
Coming up on an hour. All right, this is Matador, Battle Jehovah, and Thick Cut Bacon for Broken and Unreadable. Thank you for tuning
Hit
in.
that outro.
We will see you next week.
Boom.
Now.